Session 6, Workshop 6, Classroom Management. You're going to begin this session, this workshop, with a game. It's a classic children's game called Simon Says. In that game, you, the trainer, will shout out an instruction, and the participants should do what you tell them. If you start with the phrase Simon says. If you do not say Simon says, then they should not do it. And if they do, then they are eliminated. So for example, you shout, Simon says, stand up. Everyone stands up. You shout, sit down. Anybody who sits down is eliminated from the game. Continue until one person is left and is the winner. Give 10 minutes for this. It's a lot of fun, should get participants energized. And then talk them through the aims of the session and ask them to draw their own classroom layout and describe it to their partners in groups of 3. Stage 3 is the rules of the classroom. So your rules, you're going to explain the difference between must, mustn't, should, shouldn't. And you'll need to drill these phrases. So you model and the participants repeat. You can write on the board some phrases. You should speak English. You shouldn't arrive late, for example. Model and ask participants to repeat these phrases. Participants should look at the phrases in the box, the behavior in the box, and decide if they are good or bad behavior and note it in the box beneath. Stage 4, managing the rules in your classroom. There is a table. On the left, you have space to write rules. On the right-hand side, you have space to write the actual phrases that the teacher would say. So you mustn't make a lot of noise is the rule. The teacher would say, please don't make that noise. The rule is you should speak English. The instruction, please speak English. So ask participants to complete the table, write some of their own rules on the left-hand side, and then write the actual instructions on the right-hand side. You can get the participants to compare their answers in groups. You could have a very quick classroom discussion. You might want to do the mingle exercise, which is suggested in the trainer's notes, whereby they stand up, walk around, say a rule to somebody, and that partner then says the instruction in English. The next stage, 20 minutes for this, is about putting learners into pairs and groups. So the trainer's manual suggests that you play a game. Everybody stands up, they walk around, and you shout out instructions. Get into groups of 3, for example, and they should very quickly get into groups of 3. Get into pairs. They do the same. So you can do that a couple of times, just for fun and energizing. And then get participants to look at these questions and answer these questions individually. And then in pairs, they discuss. Stage 6. So this is what it looks like in the participants book. here you have in the table the stages of a lesson. Participants should work in pairs, and they will put the stages in the correct order, and then discuss what happens in each of the stages. Next, there is a template of a lesson plan. So participants in pairs will plan a lesson, maybe one that they've done recently, one that is coming up. So they plan it in pairs. Make sure that they leave space between the stages, because they will come back and make notes later. So make sure that they leave space. So give them 25 minutes to plan in pairs a lesson. Stage 7 is an ordering exercise. So they have these phrases, these excerpts from a maths lesson. And in groups, you will give cut-ups of this to the groups, and they will physically rearrange them into the correct order. They can then listen to the audio to check their answers. You can play it again if necessary, and they can change the order of the cut-ups and perhaps discuss it. Okay, next part of this stage is they have to complete the table. So the function getting everyone's attention, the participants must write down what the teacher actually said when she wanted to get everyone's attention. Okay, stage 8. Now they go back to the lesson plan that they wrote earlier, and now they must